From Dover, HMS Corunna bound for Holland. A sentimental journey on the 25th anniversary of the liberation of the Dutch island of Walcheren. Royal Marine Commandos, the main seaborne strike force, remember the thunder of the Navy's guns, and November the 1st, 1944 seems as immediate as now. In liberating Walcheren, the dikes had to be opened and the island virtually destroyed. It was the price we had to pay. That's the philosophical verdict of the Dutch. What of the other price? Smiling before the Holocaust, the warriors of Walcheren. And today the survivors remember the experience of danger shared. But behind all their reminiscences must be their own personal awareness of the horrors of war. As the poet Robert Graves recently said of the trenches of an earlier war, it gave you a measure of awfulness. Alistair Shaw of the Royal Engineers went over in the second wave to breach the minefields. "48 hours of bitter, bloody fighting, and it led to the crossing of the Rhine and the final defeat of Nazi Germany. But isn't remembering enough in itself? Why these anniversary returns to old battlegrounds? Why this ghoulish licking of old wounds? Perhaps it's easier to criticize if you're young enough not to have been involved. Strolling past the self-consciously new buildings, some of the operation commanders of 1944. So little of the past remains. Understandable if yesterday's conquering heroes feel a bit self-conscious themselves. The civilians of Walcheren paid a high price in livelihood as well as lives. But as one of the locals put it, our liberation from tyranny is worth commemorating. To us, it's not just a date in our history books. 25 years after that date, the sacrifice and the victory are commemorated by Queen Juliana, who lays a wreath at the Resistance Memorial. Millions of Dutchmen remember their sufferings under the occupation. That is why for them, Walcheren should be remembered. And for us, it was part of the premium we all had to pay to destroy the greatest threat to freedom we'd ever faced. That's why we should remember too. At St. Paul's Cathedral, men of the 7th Duke of Edinburgh's own Gurkha Rifles come to pay tribute to the man who raised the regiment in 1907, Lord Kitchener. Even at a time when the ideals of service are being put to the question, when we are more concerned with peace in the future than war in the past, the Gurkhas' motto is still a guideline: better to die than be a coward. Like the red badge of another's courage, the British Legion poppy, signifying remembrance and helping the living through the Legion Fund for ex-servicemen and their families. The Queen Mother came to Westminster Abbey to plant a cross in the field of remembrance. It's now 50 years since the First Remembrance Sunday. Seldom has the generation gap been wider than over this dilemma about its observance. It's obviously hard for young people to identify themselves with events that happened before they were born, but surely by paying tribute to the dead, we don't glorify the manner of their dying or accept the inevitability of war, be it the Somme or Al Alamein, Vietnam or Biafra.